Welcome back to our coverage of the 2026 NFL Draft. I'm Rich Eisen, and I'm joined as always by the great Mel Kiper Jr. And we are just moments away from seeing the commissioner come to the podium to officially announce the first pick of the night. In fact, here he is now, met with the customary boos that he faces every year.
All right, everybody, settle down. Settle down. Let's get this started right. With the first overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the NFL selects Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania as this year's host city. Let's hear it for Pittsburgh, people.
Wow, Mel, what a stunner. But are you more surprised by the pick or the commissioner's wardrobe?
Exactly, Rich. You look at an event like the NFL Draft, and it's been a big part of the league since 1936, making it 30 years older than the Super Bowl itself. Every year, each team gets the chance to add the best players from college football, with the worst team from the previous season getting the first pick in each round, and the best team getting the last. But what started as a small event with 9 teams in Philadelphia has turned into one of the biggest spectacles in all of American professional sports.
And I'm getting word from our producers that we actually have a photo of our very own Mel Kiper Jr. at that 1936 NFL Draft. Can we put that on the screen for the viewers at home? Wow, just look at that outfit. A lot has certainly changed in the 90 years between the first draft and now. Huh, Mel?
You're telling me, Rich, from 1936 to 1964, the draft rotated between NFL cities like Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., and Chicago before eventually finding a permanent home in New York City from 1965 to 2014. From there, the draft became so popular that the NFL decided to initiate a bidding process for cities that are too cold in the winter to host Super Bowls. That's why we saw the draft go back to Chicago in 2015 and 16 before eventually making it out to Cleveland, Kansas City, and Detroit. And as the commissioner just announced, it returns to Pittsburgh for the first time since 1948.
It's definitely a big opportunity for Pittsburgh, who's been a part of the NFL since 1933. What kind of impact will the draft have on the city itself, Kiper?
Well, Rich, you look at a tough, football loving market like the Steel City and just knew they were going to put on a show. The 3 day draft saw a record breaking attendance of 805,000 people, according to the league. With that influx of visitors and tourists, the NFL leaned heavily on local businesses, including roughly 150 vendors who sold goods and services such as food and beverage and production assistance to the league, according to the Allegheny County office.
Interesting stuff, Mel. That sounds like a real win-win for all the Yinzers.
Not quite, Rich. To prepare for the event, the city of Pittsburgh had a massive cleaning initiative, which included the removal of 7.3 million pounds of debris done across the city through roughly 41,000 total volunteer hours. Still, between the roughly $3 million the city spent in overtime pay for police officers and public transportation officials, Pittsburgh is expected to lose roughly $1 million, the city says.
Fascinating stuff, Mel. That's why you're the best. But with this selection, attention already moves to the NFL's pick of a host city for next year's 2027 draft, which will likely be the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Thoughts on that pick, Kiper?
A draft of young men in Washington, D.C.? What is this, Rich, the Vietnam War?
Easy, Mel. We're still live to tape. And with that, we look forward to seeing you all next year, as long as we're still on the air. So long.